Hey guys, what's going on today? Bojo here, back again with our NHL 16 BGM following the Philadelphia Flyers. No, it's been a while since we have recorded this series for you guys, just because I've been busy with work and such, but we are finally back and ready to continue along with this series. So, judging by the comment section of the last video and the last two videos for you guys, especially last time where we had to deal with all that craziness of the line edits and all that fun stuff, I've done a couple things. So, injuries, I turned them off. I just want to have fun with this series and simulating it nice and easily like that, all that fun stuff. But if I have to, continuously switch out players due to the injuries and all that crap, I don't want to deal with that. So I just turned injuries off for right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only problem we had last time with this team was, just the injury bug. So we currently sit at 11-10-3. Currently, we guess we are tied with the Devils right now for third spot in the East. They have a game in hand on us, obviously. But what we are going to do is definitely change up our lines and such going into this next little stretch here. So I think our power play was doing worse and our penalty kill was not doing well either. Actually, I think our penalty kill was good. I think the power play just needed a little bit of a shift in focus. So now that all that stuff is done, we can actually focus on what our offensive defensive lines are going to be. So obviously Nick Schultz is still sitting out because he has his potential has really dropped and his overall has dropped just because he has been sitting a lot. So as you guys can see, that is still our lineup right now. We will deal with that Andy McDonald situation in a little bit, but let us take off Michael Raffl off of the penalty kill and let's move Michael Del Zotto up to the first line here. We'll take Raffl off and then Andy McDonald will be switched out with who's it going to be? Probably Evgeny Medvedev, I would think, on the power play. It's Streit and Del Zotto, McDonald, and Medvedev. Yeah, I guess so. Changing the current lines, Medvedev gets placed in there. So I think that's all we're going to do for the power play. Four-man power play is still the exact same. Yep. So that's fine and dandy there. Penalty kill, Couturier and White, Shen and Umberger. Yep, McDonald and Medvedev. Yep, those guys are perfectly fine on the penalty kill. Three-man penalty kill. Yep. So that's fine for the penalty kill. And now we can explore the option of that Andy McDonald trade that was made last time for us. So we ended off our simulation last time when a proposed trade came in from the New Jersey Devils wanting to trade us a second-round pick, I believe in this year's draft, for Andrew McDonald. So let's take a look at that draft pick essentially and take a look at its value-wise. So the trade value is obviously up to the T, and that is going to be the Devils' second-round pick traded with the Flyers for Andrew McDonald. Now let's see about Andy McDonald's trade value in comparison to that trade value. Is it's well over or well under? So yeah, it was fairly even. They want to trade McDonald for that, which is good because, a lot of you guys were saying that we should make that trade because it's 4.6 at 5 years and the Devils were not retaining any cap whatsoever. And they want Andrew McDonald for some stinking odd reason. So is there any possibility we could get something back instead of a second? I mean, we already do have a second for this year, but I have a feeling that second round pick is going to be pretty good because we have our second and we have the Chicago Blackhawks second round pick as well. That was in the Kimmo Timonen trade. So that's where that second round pick comes in from the Blackhawks. If we get another second in there, that would be 3 second-round picks, and we could possibly move 2 of them to move up to another first-round pick to get a nice little draft prospect, which I think would be pretty solid to get. So we could do that, but let's see if there's anything else the Devils have that the Flyers could use instead of a second-round pick. Maybe there are some low potential forwards in here that, could actually turn out pretty good for us. So let's take a look at their potential and compare them. So potential-wise, Reed Boucher's trade value is not really too great up there. 78 overall, low potential to become elite. So he's a minor league scoring forward. I could add another sniper there, but then again, we already have some good players in our system. Josephson we don't want. Tenenby, I don't know. Is Tenenby any particularly good? Tenenby, he's already 25 years old now. We don't want Tenenby. Spears, Gogol, Norman, Kujawinski, Lilia, Chatham, Blandisi, Jarvalainen. Nah, there's nothing really too great. So we could make that trade for the Devils, but the thing is, I don't want to make that trade right away because then again, it's still early on in the season for the Flyers. We're still kind of in contention for, you know, a playoff spot early on. But I do want to keep that trade in the back of my mind because the Devils still do want to make that trade, and it will go through Andy McDonald for a second-round pick, no doubt. So I'm going to keep that trade in the back of my head. But I'm going to continue to simulate along here for the next couple of months. We're going to simulate the next 2 months here. Obviously keeping in touch with the player morales and all that fun stuff. But we're going to keep that in the back of our head. We don't have to deal with injuries and a lot of that stuff now. We just have to deal with the player morale pop-ups. And once again, if the Flyers are still not a great team by the All-Star break, that's when we could start to make the trades with Umberger, LeCavalier, and Andrew McDonald. So let's go along here. Let's simulate all the way up to the All-Star break, and we'll see what has to happen here. And already get some player morales. Okay, so yeah, once again, Nick Schultz is still pretty disgusted because of what's going on right now with Nick Schultz. He's disgruntled. The management of this team seems to be out to lunch. Once again, we're trying to get you in the lineup, Nick. If we can trade Andy McDonald at this point, I definitely would put you in there. Look, if you have something constructive to offer, say it. Don't just complain. Sorry you feel that way. Yeah, let's just go that way. Has no effect on him. Yeah, so all the things that Nick Schultz has been complaining about, nothing really too special. The AHL team, I think, is doing fine, but our locker room chemistry in the NHL not doing so hot. So we definitely need to see if we can continue to win some games here, as we are losing. Mark Streit for Antti Niemi. Now, see, that's a trade I'm not really willing to do. Neuwirth and Mason are pretty much doing fine. I don't want to do Streit for Niemi. Streit's another person that we definitely could trade as well. But all right, we got a win under our belts there against Columbus. Regulation losses here. We're looking like a 500 team right now. Voracek and Giroux also really need to get, you know, they need to have like a switch in momentum there. They did not have so many high points at all, and I really want their morale to get a little bit higher. All right, so the morale's starting to go up a little bit. Let's hold these 2 meetings with Schultz and Streit. I feel like the locker room is a dysfunctional family. We may need a shake-up. Let's see. We know about the problems, but I need you to be a part of the solution and not the problem. If you want change, become a role model in that locker room. You can lead by example. And that one will had a negative effect on Schultz, on Streit. Okay, you know, I don't know. We'll just do that with Schultz because we know he's disgruntled. That had a positive effect on him. Okay, so that actually worked well. Whole team meeting. The media wrote us off before that one. However, we shouldn't be in the position to be the underdog that pulls off an upset. Had a lot of pressure on us, and we came through in spades, just like I knew we would. The fact that this was looked at as an upset win shows we have a perception problem here with our fans. If I want you to remember how you felt going into this game, it doesn't feel good to be the underdog. Yeah, let's do that. Jesus. I am a terrible GM and head coach when it comes to holding those meetings. All right, let's hold a team meeting in the AHL. Some fans were worrying that we couldn't beat that team, which makes the victory much sweeter. However, we have a lot of pressure on us. We came through. We shouldn't be in the position to have to be the underdog that pulls off an upset. Okay, that one actually did fairly good as well. Okay, so once again, we're kind of struggling with our NHL team here. Still gotta get used to this stuff, man. Definitely still have to get used to it, but you know, it's kind of fun for right now. The wins and the losses aren't popping up as, once again, another kind of glitchiness with the GM mode right now. See, that's like Vancouver and then Binghamton, then Anaheim. Oh, Jesus, hold on. Stop the simulation. Okay, scouting assignment. We'll send them out. Once again, we were in the WHL, so let's go to the OHL now. How many times did we scout that? We scouted that time. We didn't scout the QMJHL yet, so forward 6 weeks in the QMJHL. Stop the simulation here. Yep, that's what was happening there. So we lost overtime, beat. Okay, so we're 16, 13, and 6 right now. So we do have a lot of points for our losses in overtime, which is nice to see at least. But we need to get some wins under our belt here, boys. Need to get some wins under our belt, or we're going to be shipping out some players here come trade deadline. All right, let's go. And there's some regulation losses again. Andy McDonald for the Jersey 2nd round pick. Once again, I'm going to decline that trade. I'm going to hold off on it until the trade deadline comes, man. I know the Devils are still interested in it. We know the Devils are interested in that trade. We know it. But the longer I wait and the longer I hold out on Nick Schultz, the more possible trade offers that I could get from him. And the way this Flyers team is looking, it's not looking too great right now. 18-18-7, not the greatest record at all right now. 18-19, yep. This is a tough month. This is a really tough month. We've only had one win this month. Oh, there's 2 wins against the and going on a winning streak before the All-Star break. Maybe get back to over 500 if you beat the Caps. Well, we'll wait on it and see. All right, Chris Van de Velde. Okay, it's not like me to complain, but my lack of ice time is really frustrating me lately. Okay, he's 28. Look, you have to prove me you deserve more. I can see the point you're making. I'll need you to go out there and leave me no choice but to give you more minutes. Yeah, let's do that with Van de Velde. Had a negative effect. I don't know what I need to do, to be honest. The shake up the locker room is not good. I'm contemplating some changes. Had no effect on morale for Schultz. I don't know why that affected Van de Velde lately. That was one of our best wins of the year and one of our biggest games of the year. We could still play better. Don't get complacent. Huge wins like that are why we play the game, savor the moment. We get to celebrate the victory. Every game is important. I need more from my IFL. You guys can pull out more often. We work together for it. Yeah, let's go with that one. I need more from all of you. There we go. That one did good. I got positive morale out of Drew, Voracek, and Simmons at my top line, which is good. Who got negative? Just like the third and the fourth line guys. Steve Mason lost a little bit of there, but he's actually, oh, I thought he was up to an 88. That's where I thought he was up there. Okay, so did we get that win against the Caps? We did, 2-0. So we end off that month on a 3-game winning streak, which is nice to get us back over 500. But we currently sit at 21-20-7, which isn't the greatest record to be at. We're still 5th in the division. The Devils are in 3rd, which is making some kind of sense of why they do want to make that trade there. So we're 21-20-7 in the NHL. Our AHL team is 25-16-4. So the Phantoms are actually doing good. They're 2nd in the division right now behind Wilkes-Barre. So the Phantoms are doing good. All right, so there is a player meeting that we do need to do. So let's go to this. Go to morale. Hold the player meeting with somebody who wants to have the meeting. Umberger, great. Yeah, my performance hasn't been great lately, but everyone goes through slumps. We need to see some results or you're going to start feeling the consequences. The numbers are black and white. We need you to produce. And negative effect on Umberger. Like I said, I don't care about RJ Umberger if he feels negative or positive. I do not give a flying fuck about fucking RJ Umberger. Let's see, is there anything in the AHL needs to be done? If I would press the middle button, yeah, 3 guys. All right, so Scott Lawton's actually up to an 83 overall now. The extra ice time I've been getting is really allowing me to play my best. Don't think you can let your level of play drop and keep getting those minutes. You have to keep working hard. Great, we found a good balance that seems to work. There are a lot of guys in that locker room working hard to earn some of your ice time. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Keep up the hard work. Had no effect on morale. Okay. Alderson, you know, I think the front office is making a lot of the smart decisions as of late. Well, thanks a lot. I think we have a good crew and knows what they're doing. Sure. No effect. And then Matei, I think that the team is really gelling and it's showing on the ice. You've been doing well lately, no doubt, but I know you still have more to give. Had no effect. Okay, so still no effects there. Scott Lawton is actually increased to an 83 overall right now, which is really, really nice to see. If the potential comes to trade like a LeCavalier or somebody, I could definitely see myself calling him up immediately because 83 overall is nothing to slouch at. Hag is also up to an 80 overall, which is good. That's why the Phantoms are doing so good because the morale down there is pretty nice. All right, tough challenges are nothing new in this league. They're a good team, but I don't care where they're in the standings. Go out there and win. I think they're in the same league as us. Let's just focus to play. So our fans know it's going to be a tough game. We have to rise to the occasion. Don't disappoint them. That one actually had a lot of good morale, but once again, we lost some morale. And some of the players that we are actually trying to care about. Oh, man, I'm bad with those meetings, to say the least. Okay, so what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? We're going to check the stats, that's right. Check the stats up on this Flyers team. See what is going on. What is not happening. What is not happening, what needs to change. Okay, so in the entire league, let's check this out. All right, so goals for per game. Goals for per game. I could see that is our problem right there. We're not scoring enough goals. We're the 5th worst team in the league for goals. 2.2. We're not scoring enough, so that's not great. Goals against looks pretty good. Goals against, we're one of the best teams in the league though for goals against. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're not giving up many goals, but we can't score many goals. That kind of seems familiar about this Flyers team. Actually, it should be the opposite way around. We score goals, but our defense is not too great. But the goaltending and our defense seems to be holding it down so far. 2.188, which is really good for goals against. Power play, 12. That does not look good. Yeah, we're one of the worst teams in the league for power play. We're kind of up there in the league, but our power play needs to get some changes here. We need to shift some power play players and get to spread out some of those players on the power play. And then our penalty kill is at 85, so penalty kill is doing fine. 8 and 10 and 5 at home. Away we're 13 and 10. Last 10 we're 4, 5 and 1. Okay, so we're not scoring goals. That's the issue with this team right now. We're not giving up many goals, but we're not scoring goals. All right, so let's check out our forwards here. Who's doing well? All right, so the first line started to click it back into gear a little bit. So Voracek with 38 points in 47 games. Claude Giroux with 33. Wayne Simmons has 28 on the first line. Matt Reed with 23. Sam Gagner with 22. Shen with 21. Raffle has 20. Umberger with 18. Couturier with 14. LeCavalier has 8. Colin McDonald with 7. And Ryan White has 7. Vandervelde with none. Defensemen. We got Mark Streit with 17, Delzato with 15, Andy McDonald with 10, Medvedev has 9, Gudas with 4, Shen with 2, and then Schultz obviously with nothing. And then goaltenders, is the goaltender glitch still kind of in here? No, Steve Mason is getting the majority of the starts. His goals against average is really well. This team is just not giving him goal support. That seems really familiar. 35 games played, 1.95 goals against average, 13, 4, and 6. Yeah, this team's not giving him goal support. And then Michael Neuver, 15 games played, 8, 6, and 1, with 2 save percentage of .934. Yeah, Mason's playing on his head, man. This team's just not giving him goal support. Okay, so we know what the problem with this team is. There's no goal support. Okay, so we can change up our power play a little bit. We'll edit up our power play lines again. I'm gonna spread the level a little bit. We'll spread some scorers around. All right, so let's go to special teams here. So Claude Giroux, Wayne Simmons, and Jacob Voracek. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move Wayne Simmons down to the second line. I'll put Matt Reed up there. Let's give another sniper alongside of those guys. Sam Gagner, Braden Shen, and Wayne Simmons, two-way forwards, and Sam Gagner, who's a playmaker. That's fine by me. Streit and Delzato. I'm actually going to move Medvedev up. I'm going to move Medvedev up to the first line power play. I'm going to move Michael Delzato down to the second. And Matt Reed's a right wing sniper. Yeah, that's what they should be. And then the 4-man power plays. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move Medvedev up. Giroux and Voracek, that makes sense. Shen and Simmons, that makes sense. Okay, that's the only thing I'm going to do there. Penalty kill I'm not going to touch because the penalty kill is doing fine. Goaltender, Steve Mason is definitely going to be starting. And that's pretty much all I can do. That is all I can do. So I think what I have to do is just continue to simulate with this team and see where we're going to be when the trade deadline comes upon us. So we're at the halfway point of the season right now. And let's see where we're going to be when the trade deadline comes at the end of this month. So let's simulate all the way up to Calgary. If they have a good month of February, we'll see where this team gets us. If not, we are going to go on a little bit of a trading spree and trade some players. But 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak now. Continue to go, boys. Come on. Continue to win games. Okay, well, still, you got a 6-game point streak at least. Well, you got a 7-game point streak at least, which is good. 24, 20, and 8. All right, edit scout. Scouting assignment. Let's go to... Yeah, we kind of want to stay in Canada for right now. Yeah, let's go back to the WHL for forwards for 6 weeks again. All right, so we have I think a 7-game point streak, 8-game point streak, and we're continuing to win games. Okay, Philly. All right, Philly. Okay. They're making a name for themselves here. No, we don't need Anthony Niemi. That's a stupid trade to make. That's a very stupid trade to make. Okay, Flyers. Okay, calm down. All right, there's a loss to the Rangers. Can we get back on the winning streak? There you go. Win against the Devils. Beat them twice. Lost against Montreal. That's not that great. Yeah, lost against Toronto. Okay, you lose those 2 games after you started out the month really well. Shootout win against Carolina. Okay, they're making the name for themselves. And, okay. Locker room chemistry went up to 78%, which is really good because they started to really pull some wins together. Okay, I think my performance is definitely something to be proud of lately, don't you? I've seen better. It takes a lot to impress me. I expect more out of you. There's a lot to be proud of. Good work. You can always do better. Don't rest on your laurels. You've been nailing it lately, but I still think you can do better. You know what, Mason, I'm going to give Mason some praise. He's been doing very, very well as of lately. His goals against average is down. His team is just not giving him goal support, so I'm going to praise Mason. And that's going to have a positive effect on Stevie May, which is good. That's what we want. We want Mason to continue to play good out there. Not many thought we would win, but we shouldn't be in the position to have to be the underdog out of this one again. Well, a lot of pressure on us came through in spades, just like you knew the effect of look us. Let's go with that one. Okay, once again, my first line gets some bonus morale boosts there. Let's check on the AHL. Okay, we got a lot of guys to meet within the AHL. Seems that the team is on a roll lately. We have to keep it up. So Bomar's actually up to an 80 from playing in the AHL, which is good. I agree. Things to see going very well nicely for us. Positive effect on PR or Belmar. Team management is definitely not something I'm worried about lately. Good. Well, thanks. I think we have a good crew to know what we're doing. Good. Continue to praise Scott Lawton. Good. I feel like I'm really firing on all cylinders lately. You know what? Let's continue to praise Brandon Alderson as well. He's a grinder. Derek Mathers, I think the front office. Yep, let's continue to praise those guys in the AHL. No effect on Mathers. That's fine. Good performances are something that just come naturally to me. Obviously. Let's see if Brandon Manning can do a little bit better. Had a positive effect on Brandon Manning. Good, I like that one there. Alright, so the locker room chemistry of the Phantoms is at 82%, which is good. And the Flyers are at a 78%, which is not bad. Drew's up to a 91 now, which is good. Come on, Flyers. Continue to win here. Maybe make a hard choice at the trade deadline. Shootout loss to Minnesota. And then a 6-1 win against the Arizona Coyotes. Okay. So here we are up against the Calgary Flames, and a very nice run of the month that the Philadelphia Flyers went on here. After they won 3 straight to enter the All-Star break, they went on a 4-game winning streak, 5, and then they got a point streak going, so they were at 5-0-1. Where was that? 5-0-1, yeah, 5-0-1, 6-0-1, 7-0-1, 8-0-1, 9-0-1, and then they went to 9-1-1, 10-1, and then they went 10-2-1, 10-3-1, 11-3-1, 11-3-2, and then 12-3-2. So they went 12-3-2 so far this month, which was a pretty nice run of the month that the Flyers went on. They jumped all the way back into 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division. So this team is definitely giving me some troubles right now because we're playing very, very well. We're playing very well. We're 30, 23, and 9, which is going to be a very big decision to make here coming up here. So, let's see. Let's simulate that game against Calgary because that'll bring us to the trade deadline. It will not simulate anything. So, you know what? Let's do an in-game simulation of that game against the Calgary Flames. Why not? And we'll do a goals evaluation here. So we're in Philadelphia up against the Calgary Flames. So we actually are a good team in this GM mode right now. But let's see if they can continue this hot streak on that the Flyers are going into the trade deadline. So first period, 0-0. Second, 7 shots to 5. Second period, 1-1. Mikael Backlund gets one on Stevie May. All right, so let's resume the simulation here. Let's get ourselves a ×8 timer here. 5-on-4 power play. There you go. Sam Gagner gets one on Jonas Hiller. Let's tie up the game at 1. Up 5-on-4 power play again. Up. Calgary kills it off. Up. Braden Shen gets one to make it a 2-1 lead for the Flyers. About 10 minutes left to go here. Flyers are out shooting Calgary like hell. And 4 minutes to go here. They tie it up. Dinas Zubris gets one on Stevie May. And we're going to overtime. 3-on-3 overtime. Resume the simulation. Resume the simulation. I'm resuming the simulation. Thank you. Jesus. Hit it like 3 times. In overtime, we're going to go to a shootout. Yes, we are going to go to a shootout here. And the Flyers win the shootout as Mark Streit is the only person to score against Jonas Hiller. And the Flyers walk away with a 3-2 victory over the Calgary Flames in a shootout. 2 were the 3 stars of the game. Jonas Hiller played pretty good. Shen and Gagner had a goal apiece. And there we go. Okay, so the Flyers came out with a win against the Calgary Flames, a 3-2 shootout win to improve to 31, 23, and 9. So this team is going to be very troublesome for me trade deadline. Phams are doing well. They're 31, 21, and 5. All right, so let's check out where the Phantoms are. They are in third in their division. Hershey is doing a little bit better than them, but we're still doing pretty good. Okay, so let us take a look at, let's do another update on stats. Let's take a look at our morales, and then we shall evaluate what we should do with this team. So let's take a look at the stats, because they had a very good month. Flyers had a very, very good month. Now, we're at 71 points, which is 6 ahead of the New York Islanders. We have 2 games in hand on them, which is nice. Pittsburgh's not really doing too hot either, but Devils are kind of a team we have to worry about, as well as the New York Islanders. But still, Flyers just have to play their game. After a month like that, it's very good. We had a lot of overall jumps as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the goals for per game again. See if the Flyers improved in that category. 2.3, so I went up by 0.1. They're still kind of struggling to score some goals. But goals against, they are 4th best in the league at a 2.127. The prospects aren't even up yet, and we have a goals against average of 2.127. I'm telling you, Steve Mason is playing on his head. I'm telling you, that's why our goals against average is so good, because Mason is playing really well. Power play went up, which is good. It went up from like a 12 to a 15, so it got better. And then the penalty kill, what's our penalty kill at? 87.5. That's a really good penalty kill, actually. That's, what is that, 6th best? Yeah, it's the 6th best penalty kill in the league. 14, 10, and 7s at home, 17, 13, and 2 away. Last 10, 6, 3, and 1. Yep, Flyers are doing very, very well. All right, let's take a look at the point totals again. I'm going to take a look at the point totals for the AHL players as well. See who's doing really well for them. All right, so point totals again. All right, so Jacob Voracek and Claude Giroux definitely turned it around, no doubt. After a very, very slow start, they really turned it up. So Jacob Voracek, 51 points so far, 22 goals, 29 assists. Claude Giroux with 49 points as well. He's actually improved up to a 91 overall, which is nice to see. Simmons only with 36 points, but, you know, that's fine. I still expect him to get around 50 points by the end of the year. Brayden Schenn with 31. Sam Gagner with 31. He's pulling his weight down there on the third line, and Sam Gagner, I appreciate that. Matt Reed and Michael Raffl with 21. You know what? I'm proud of my third line guys. Matt Reed, well, Raffl's on the second line. I keep forgetting that. So Raffl's on the second. A lot of my players are negative too, which is weird. But Gagner's pulling his weight down there on the third line. He might be getting a lot of power play points as well. But actually, no, our power play is pretty bad, so I don't think he would be getting power play points. But still, Reed, pretty good. He's got 16 goals. I appreciate that, Matt Reed. We moved him up to the first line power play, remember? So he might be getting some work done there. But the third line with Gagner, Reed, and Umberger is actually not doing too bad. Second line could be used a little bit more, but Schenn and Simmons are doing fine there. Raffl could be a little bit better, but Umberger with 20, Sean Couturier with 18, McDonald with 14, Vinny Cavier with 13. He's actually improved to an 82, and Ryan Waite's up to an 82, and Mandavelli still is 78. Okay, defenseman. All right, Mark Streit, 23 points. He's actually improved to an 87. Michael Del Zotto with 20, Andy McDonald with 17, Medvedev with 15, Luke Schenn with 5, Gudas with 4, and Nick Schultz obviously still with nothing. Goaltenders. Is the reason we're doing well because of Steve Mason? Yes, it is. 44 games played for Stevie May. Goals against average of 1.95. That's pretty ridiculous at an 88 overall. So he's 19 and 16 and 7 with a save percentage of .931. Neuwirth has 21 games played, 2.3, 12, 7, and 2. It's pretty decent backup numbers for Neuwirth at a .920 save percentage, which is good. 7 shutouts for Mason, 4 shutouts for Neuwirth, which is really good. Yeah, goaltenders are stealing the show, to be honest. So goalies are stealing the show. All right, let's take a look at our AHL guys for forwards. See who's doing well in the system for this team. So Scott Lawton is definitely carrying the team down there with 52 points. Belmar with 43, Peluja with 41, Lier with 37, Brent, Straka, okay, Powell, Hextall, Alderson, Limbaum, Cousins with 12, Gumas, Derek Mathers, okay. Defensemen, these are the guys I want to take a look at. Brandon Manning with 23, Hag with 22, Gostisbehere with 22, Morin with 11, Mark Alt with 11, and Adam Comrie with 10. And then my 10Ds, we got Stolars, who is 17 and 8. Wow, Stoli the goalie playing pretty well down there. 1.94 goals against average. Connor Knapp, he's 14 and 13. He's got more. Actually, Stoli's probably getting more starts because he has a better goals against average, way better save percentage too. So Stoli's playing pretty good. Stoli is playing very, very well. Okay, so there's our point totals. We're third in the division. We're at the trade deadline. Do I make the trades, though, is the question. All right, let's take a look at the player morales. Let's see if there's any guys we have to meet with. We have to hold a team meeting. All right. Some fans were worried that we couldn't beat this team, which makes the victory that much sweeter. However, we had a lot of pressure on us, and we came through in spades, just like I knew we would. The fact that this looked up as an upset win shows we have a specific fan. I want you to remember to go and feel. We had a lot of pressure. I'll just go with that one. Wow, there we go. A perfect team meeting. Look at that. Every single person on the team had a positive player morale increase because of that team meeting. There we go. All right, I'm on to something here. I'm on to something here. All right, so we just gotta meet with Brandon Alderson. Yeah, we'll just do that. Hopefully that makes him happy. Positive effect on him. Good. Just keep Brandon Alderson going. All right, so our locker room chemistry is good. We got 82 locker room chemistry in the AHL, and we have a 78 locker room chemistry on the Flyers team. Okay, so let's take a look at the morale and see who actually has had an increase so far on this team, who has actually had the biggest overall. So Claude Giroux's already up to a 91, Mason's up to an 88, Straight's up to an 87, McDonald actually bumped up to an 84. Okay. LeCavalier and Ryan White both up to an 82s, and then Schultz is still kind of disgruntled, but he's up to a 78 now, which is better, I guess. And then obviously the AHL guys, there's going to be a ton of them. You know, Scott Lawton has the biggest boost out of all of them, obviously, and he's a third line checking forward. So Scott Lawton is actually technically considered a third line checking forward if we wanted to move somebody like RJ Umberger. That could be a really possible trade right there. Could we trade Umberger and then move up Lawton? But you know, the fact that could hurt a lot of the locker room chemistry, though. Like I said, guys, a lot of the trades and scenarios like that in this game could affect the locker room chemistry for a lot of different things if we were to trade something. But that's the problem I have right now. I was hoping this Flyers team was not going to be a great team come the trade deadline, but there's the issue. They are. Well, they're not great. They just had a nice little run, which makes it seem like they're good trades. So, I have no idea what I want to do here. So let's go to the trading block here. Let's go to where's the trading block at? I think it's in contracts, right? Trade and improve, yeah. So let's go to the trading block here. Edit the trading block. We know we still have Andy McDonald, RJ Umberger, and Vinny LeCavalier on the trading block, as we know. Let's go take a look at the other teams in the league and see which players are up on the trading block. Because if we want to make a trade for an asset, you know, there is the definite potential to do that. So let's go to skaters matching in the block. All right, so Anaheim has nothing. Arizona, Shane Doan is on the block at 84. Okay, nobody in Boston. Buffalo, Legwand and Gianta. Carolina, John Michael Lyles. Columbus, they have a lot of guys. Paul Bender's on the trading block, but nobody really roster player wise. Calgary, nobody. Oops, double clicked on them. A little bit of lag when shifting from team to team. Nobody in Chicago. Colorado, Jerome McGinley and Alex Tanguay are on the trading block for them. Dickinson, nope. Detroit, nobody on Detroit. Edmonton's a good team. Andrew Ference. Okay, so that might add some defensive depth. Jaromir Jagr and Brian Campbell, I think I saw in there as well. So Jagr, we could bring back Jagr. Minnesota, Fontaine, Carter, nobody really great there. Montreal. Okay, New Jersey, Patrick Eliash. Nobody on Nashville. The Islanders, nobody on the New York Islanders. Rangers, nobody on the Rangers. Double clicked on them again because this game is sticky when it comes to it. Chris Phillips and Chris Neal. Pittsburgh, they're not looking to trade anybody. San Jose, probably Marlowe and Thornton. No, they're keeping them. That's surprising. St. Louis, nobody on the Blues. Tampa Bay, D'Angelo, they're trying to trade a lot of their young guys. Toronto has Roman Polak and P.A. Parento. Arcabellico was up there as well. Both of the Sedins. Winnipeg has Halischuk, and Washington has Jason Chimera. Okay, so they're all the players that are obviously on the trading block. But there's the question for you guys. What do we do with the Flyers? Because you guys saw, Scott Laughton is able to play on this team. He's a third-line checker. He's 83 overall. This Flyers team is now in third place in the division with a 6-point lead over the Islanders with 2 games in hand. So, you know, this Flyers team has been playing well as of late. You know, the goaltending and the defense seems to be playing well. I mean, why would I make a trade with the defense if they're playing really, really well? We could hold out trading the defense maybe until like the draft or something along those lines, and then we could get some draft picks in. But, you know, if this team is playing well, why would I make the trade? That's the question. I wanted to make the trades, but, you know, we could possibly do something along the lines of like, I don't know, what's the team I'm thinking of where they traded a really good stud player but then still made the playoffs? Maybe a play like Columbus did a couple of years ago where they traded what's his face? I forget off the top of my head. Whatever. You know what I'm thinking, guys. So what should we do? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Should we not make any trades at the trade deadline? Should we make the trades with the players at the trade deadline? Call the guys up from the minors and play them on the NHL team? The only person I would maybe do that with is Scott Laughton. But, you know, the AHL team is doing fine as well, and they probably need him. He's the leading scorer in the AHL. What do you guys think we should do? Should we trade Umberger? Should we trade LeCavalier? Should we trade McDonald? Should we trade Straight? What should we do, guys? What should we do? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. This Flyers team is in a little bit of a predicament right now, and I need your guys' help. So, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, and we shall see what lies in store for the Flyers in the next episode.